Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new week of Road to TCG Worlds 2016. We are now back on the normal grind of one deck per week, but of course I am going to be featuring a ton of Fates Collides cards. Now, as you might know, on Wednesdays I put up a poll on Twitter where I asked you guys what deck you want me to use next. So I decided to start off with Mega Alakazam, probably one of, if not the most anticipated and hyped up card of the set. But for next week we can definitely explore Delphox Break, Mega Dino, anything you want. So if you have any ideas, make sure to leave them down below and I will do my best to bring you all of the decks that come out with this new set. I feel like we have explored everything else besides maybe Vespiquen Vileplume, but this should be a very interesting deck for now. So we start off with Mega Alakazam EX, 210 HP, it's on the lower range of the Mega Pokemon but still a very respectable amount, and we have Send Force as its only attack. This attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon, and this card paired up with the regular Alakazam EX is absolutely amazing. The ability Kinesis rather, when you Mega Evolve, you get to place 2 damage counters on the active Pokemon and 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So with this you can, if you place the damage counters correctly, you can make sure you are always getting one-hit KOs with Mega Alakazam, because since you are using the ability to place the damage counters, it's not like you're 2-hit KOing, but rather you're getting clean one-hit KOs. And aside from that, we also have the Crobat line as support in order to make sure we can always one-hit KO everything for a single energy, because we do run Dimensional Valley. Crobat is not a stranger to the channel, we featured it a ton. Surprise Bite, 3 damage counters wherever you want. Skill Dive is a really nice attack as well. And we have Golbat with Sneaky Bite, 2 damage counters, and even Supercross. Even using Supercross once means Alakazam will hit everything for at least 40 damage and things like that. So definitely very nice to have the full Crobat line. It's not a 4-4-4 or anything crazy like that. It's just a 3-3-2 support line, just so that we can ensure we get those KOs. Then we have Hoopa EX. This guy allows us to swarm, if you will, the Mega Alakazam EX, which is the main strategy of the deck. And we have one Jirachi. Now, with all the damage counter placement, we should have an okay-ish Night March matchup, I believe. But I feel like Jirachi could be useful in case you need to stall a turn or something like that. So I don't think it's ever a bad play to have Jirachi. It could also help us out a lot against decks like Seismitoad or Giratina based decks. So definitely a useful card to take in to any deck pretty much. And we have our 2 beautiful full art Shaymin EX in order to draw cards. Now for supporters, we have our mandatory for Sycamore. N is finally back in the format. It got reprinted and I get to use the full art version from Novel Victories. It's at a count of 2. Could argue you might use 3, but I feel like 2 is more than enough, especially because we have 4 Verse Seekers. Then we have a single Lysander so that we can target whatever we want, a single AC, that's to reuse Crobat and potentially reuse Mega Alakazam in a for sure manner instead of depending on the Super Scoop Up flips. Then we have one Xerosic. Once again, we could delay Night March for a few turns. We could, because against Night March we will be benching our Psychic weak Pokemon, so that could be a bit problematic, but between Xerosic, all the damage counter placement and Jirachi, we should be okay, I think. And we have a single Skyla. Now I included Skyla because of the fact that Spirit Links are even more important for this Mega Pokemon than for any other, I believe, because Mega Evolving and then passing the turn just to place 5 damage counters, that's not too great. But Mega Evolving, placing the damage counters and then getting a one-hit KO or potentially 2 KOs with the Crobat damage counter placement or things like that, that could definitely be very nice. So in terms of our item cards, we have our 4 versus Seeker to use all the supporters I just named, 4 Ultra Ball in order to to get all of our Pokemon, and probably the most important one, Hoopa, so that we can swarm the Mega Alakazam. 3 Trainer's Mail. This allow you to reach out a little further, to get that extra draw card, to get that extra Spirit Link or Stadium, things like that. 4 Super Scoop Up. All of your abilities are coming to play abilities, so you definitely want to abuse this card. I expect to get 2 heads out of 4, of course, every game. Anything more than that will be very welcome. Anything less might deter from our strategy, but we should always keep that into account. And we have our 4 Spirit Link. It's not at a count of 3 like you would normally see on a mega Pokemon deck, because of the fact that you really want to use Mega Alakazam's ability, not necessarily always attack with it. And 4-dimensional Valley, so that we can actually attack for free with Crobat, plan out our KOs, and also attack with us for a single energy with our Alakazams. And we have 8 regular Psychic Energy. I'm not using Mystery Energy. You could make an argument for it, so that Mega Alakazam retreats for free, but you already have the Crobat line. You do have AC for Hoopa in case it gets Lysandered. You could make an argument for Mystery Energy, but because of the risk of Xerosic or Enhanced Hammer, I'm okay with just using regular basic energy. So that's the deck. Let's find our first game of the day. And if you are new, you should know that I have 4 of every card available out right now, because the guys at Pokemon.com were the guys from marketing were very nice and allowed me to use one of the Pokemon marketing accounts in order for me to play out my games and make the videos a bit more attractive. It obviously looks nicer with all the foil new generations energy, the foil Verseekers, the foil Ultra Balls, which otherwise they would cost a small fortune in order to get. So thank you especially to Pokemon trainer Mike, because he was the guy who allowed me to get the account. And okay, we are going first, but we don't have too good a hand. I mean, we have an okay hand, but if only the Super Scoop Up would be a different card. Now we are up against a Max Elixir water type deck, so maybe it's Primal Kyogre. Not entirely sure. The mulligan definitely helps us out a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure what my opponent could be using. When I saw water type, I saw Greninja. Well, I thought Greninja rather. Okay, and my mulligan is an Ultra Ball and my top deck is a Sycamore. So now we are in an amazing position. We are up actually against a Palkia EX deck. So I'm going to attach my Spirit Link, I'm going to attach an energy, and what I'm actually going to do is use an Ultra Ball, get rid of the Sycamore and the Super Scoop Up. I know this seems a bit weird, but if I can get Hoopa here and Hoopa gets me Shaman and gets me more Alakazams, that should be pretty nice for us. And we even have the full Crobat line for the following turns. So with Hoopa, I'm going to get a regular Alakazam, a Mega Alakazam, and a Shaman. My opponent could definitely play something to shuffle our hand and remove our Golbat, Crobat, and Mega Alakazam, but I'm feeling confident. So I'm gonna draw, set up for 3 cards, get a Verseeker even. Gonna play the Trainer's Mail. Okay, I am getting Super Scoop Ups, so I'm gonna leave my hand like this for now, and next turn I'm going to be able to place a few damage counters of my own, which should be really nice. I can't attack because it's my first turn obviously, so let's see what my opponent does here. Team Flare Grunt, okay, that's not good. We do have 4-dimensional Volley, but my opponent doesn't do anything else, so I'm going to evolve here. The Golbat plays the 2 damage. I don't know why it asks you where to place them. Well, actually, yeah, I'm going to Mega Evolve the active. I do want to place the damage counters because it's now at 40, so that means if I manage to get an energy and a dimensional volley, I should be good here to get the KO, right? Because 30 damage for every damage counter, so that means I am dealing 130 plus the 40. I'm actually short 10 damage short, or 1 damage counter short rather. So hopefully I flip 1 hit. Nope, I do not flip 1 hit. Okay, so I'm gonna have to Sycamore, and we might miss the KO at this point, but it's not a big issue. I'm not threatened at all by my opponent's current setup, and I'm actually going to get the turn to KO because I did get the energy, the Ultra Ball, and the Dimensional Valley. So here all I need to do is Mega Evolve. I won't lose my turn because of the Spirit Link, and I get to do way too much damage to that Palkia. And imagine even if he had benched something else, whatever he had benched would have already 6 damage counters on it, which means it would have likely been KO'd next turn. So pretty easy win for us. We deal 190 damage, very nice, and there's our victory for the day, our first victory of the day rather. So yeah, pretty nice. Let's find our next game. Now at this point I'm not entirely sure on the rating of the account because I did use it for the Spring Regional Special, and on Thursday when I featured Mega Alakazam EX, and just a small advertisement here if you will, expanded regional tournaments are going on at the moment. I don't know what decks won or did well during regionals last weekend yet, but I do know that, or it's very likely that out of the 10 decks I featured, at least 1 or 2 were amongst those top 8 decks. So if you are competing in regionals next weekend, I suggest you give them a try. So aside from that, I completely forgot my train of thought. What was I talking about before that? Something about the deck, something about Mega Alakazam. Okay, this should be a lot more challenging. Oh, my rating. Okay, so on Thursday I had some really amazing games, like truly amazing matches, and then on Friday I didn't get too many competitive matches. So this double Golbat discard is going to be very unfortunate for us. But yeah, as I was saying, my rating was artificially raised by the guys from marketing, so to match my regular Tablemon account. So it should be at a very decent amount. And yeah, going second here might really cost us. Going second might be very detrimental for us, because he gets to Mega Evolve first, he gets the first attack off, he gets, wow, yeah, this is going to be a really rough matchup, especially because I won't have the help from the Golbat line, especially because of that. Shaman should be a priority target, I guess. At least I do get to place 3 damage counters on my Nectric right now, but there's nothing else I can do besides Sycamore at the moment. So maybe one Super Rod could make it into the list. Now, my hand is definitely not too good. I will play my Stadium, but he most definitely should play Rough Seas, right? So if I play the Stadium first, might be in a bit of trouble. I'm not gonna touch the Spirit Link just yet, because of the fact that if I do, I would get 2-hit KO'd, but if I don't, he 100% needs, he 100% needs the Mega, which if he flips tails might not draw. He flips heads, still might not draw it, but it's very likely he will. Benches Raikou, heals himself, and doesn't. Okay, so this is good. I do top deck the Dimensional Valley, that's good as well. I will attach the Spirit Link, and now I need my Mega. I 100% need my Mega in order to get back into the game, and I don't draw anything useful. Wow. And now I'm going to lose Alakazam for nothing. For literally nothing. Oh man, an Ultra Ball would have been great. Just a single Ultra Ball. Or a Mega Alakazam. A Mega Alakazam would have been amazing, because I would have dealt 2 damage counters and then dealt 70 damage extra, so he would have had 90 damage on him. He healed 30, but then the follow-up Mega Alakazam would have been able to KO it, and I would have placed 3 damage counters onto a Shaman already. But oh boy, how much HP? Wait, he played Hex Maniac. I have 160 HP. I was hopeful I would have 180 HP, but he plays a Hex Maniac, and wow, I'm gonna have to sacrifice the Zubat here. Definitely gonna have to sacrifice the Zubat. I guess we're playing the Stadium War right now. I will attach an energy here. I mean, I can Lysander up to try and stall for a little bit the Raikou, and skill dive the Mega Manectric. Let's see, 4 damage counters means 130, 5 damage counters. Yeah, if I want to have any chance at all, I need him not to have the Rough Seas, so that he KOs me, presumably. I Mega Evolve, that's 3 damage counters, and that's it, never mind. And he back-to-back stadiums for both of us, I guess. So it's fair. Back-to-back stadiums for the both of us. Now my only shot here is for him not to have energy, but in a Mega Manectric deck, that's not very likely at all. And he has yet to play a supporter. There's his energy, he simply retreats, KOs. Whiffing that Mega, and he, wow. I'm just gonna concede here, guys. I have no chance of winning. If I had gotten a Mega Alakazam, I could have put myself into the game, but I did not. So let's find our next game. Now, I'm not saying this, we don't know what good Mega Alakazam combinations are out there yet. Some people might not want to clog the deck with Crobat. Other people might want to run Wolfed. Other people might want to run Trevenant even. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities to run with Mega Alakazam. I will go first against what looks like a Vileplume deck, so I'm really grateful about that. I'm really grateful. Well, okay. Interesting hand. Okay, I'm gonna attach an energy to Zubat, and I'm gonna Sycamore. Not much you can do about things like this, really. Hopefully I find an Ultra Ball. Nope. Nope. So it looks like I'm going to get turned wand. I guess I'll play the Verseeker just in case for some reason he has an N. Am I not playing enough basics? 3 Zubat, 2 Shaman, 4 Alakazam EX, and the Hoopa. 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Trainers Mail. Okay, let's watch my opponent KO my Zubat on turn 1. All he needs is 2 more Pokemon, a TCG, and the Vespiquen. Decides to keep whatever he decided to keep and forgo the Compressor. Ultra Balls away another Pokemon and a Stadium. So that's 2 Pokemon. He's dealing 40 damage right now. There's a Shaman. I mean, there's a chance, guys. There's a really, really low chance, but there is a chance. There's another Combi. There's a Level Ball for an Oddish, I would imagine. Right? Nope, an Unknown. So now all he needs is Vespiquen and a TCE. Wow, very nice. Full 6-card setup. He can still play another Sycamore. So I'm just waiting for him to KO me, really. There's a Battle Compressor. If he gets rid of... Nope. Odysseus. Maybe he's just low rolling me and he already has it, or he's simply thinning out his deck. There's the DCE, there's the Ultra Ball for the Vespiquen, so that's the game. Okay, so not a great start for this deck. We got a very quick win on the first game and then 2 very quick losses as well. My opponent has the advantage. He is using a fighting type deck, so if it is Lucario, then we should be in a pretty good position. If it's Garchomp, should prove to be a very interesting matchup actually, so I hope it's Garchomp or Gallade. Okay, at least I get another yeah, even Jirachi. So yeah, the previous game was really weird to get benched out like that. Garchomp it is. Okay, makes sense, definitely makes sense. And Jirachi could also be really useful for us. I do want to draw a card. I get another energy, and yeah, let's see. Karina, Gible, yeah, pretty standard game. We should see the damage counter placement will be very important for us. I really need to make sure I place the damage counters correctly everywhere. Now 2 damage counters means, yeah, every Garchomp to be KO'd needs to have 3 damage counters on it to be KO'd by Mega Alakazam. So I'm going to Hoopa here. I will go for triple. Am I going for the triple right here? I guess so. I'm going for the triple. Forgoing the Crobat line a bit. For now. Now I don't. Do I want to get rid of 2 energy? Let's see what my trainer's mail gives me. Okay, yeah, N. I like N because I don't have to discard my 2 energy. I also don't have to discard the Golbat and the Super Scoop Up. So that will be my supporter of choice. My opponent has 6 cards in his hand. We know one of them is a basic energy, but that's all we really know. And we get the Golbat back, and nothing else too much useful. But we do have the Mega Alakazam. We have an AC. We have a Versus Seeker. So we are in an okay position. We just have to be really careful with the Garchomp. Now you would assume Garchomp wants to come out to play right now. He plays a Birch, so no chance of him using or yeah, Lysander to start targeting my Mega Alakazam. But because we don't have a Spirit Link yet, I mean, for me to get a KO next turn on this Garchomp, I would need 2 Mega Alakazams. Which doesn't seem very doable at this point in time. I mean, I do have 1, yes. And he's dealing currently 180 damage, so he'd be 30 damage short, I guess. I'm gonna attach it to the bench Alakazam. I'm gonna play this, and there's 2 things I can do here. I could AC Hoopa and go for Shaman, or I can N. And I'm not entirely sure what's the best play. I think it's Hoopa, because the N doesn't guarantee me anything, and I already have one Mega Alakazam. That's like a tongue twister. So I'm gonna get just Shaman, right? I mean, I could grab another Alakazam, but it's gonna reduce the odds of me drawing a single Spirit Link. And I mean, with one Spirit Link, I'd be happy. With a single Spirit Link, I will be happy. Fair enough. My deck tells me to go F off. And okay, so I'm gonna evolve the Mega Alakazam. I will place the damage counters, and I will place 3 damage onto a Gible, because like I said, I need 3 damage counters on any given Gible or a Garchomp in order to KO it. So once again, I really need a Spirit Link. I really need a Spirit Link, so that, and a Mega Alakazam of course, so that I can Mega Evolve, not lose my turn, and then KO the Garchomp. Probably retreat and KO the Garchomp. Now he can KO me if he finds a strong energy and a fighting stadium. He would be able to KO me. But then my Versus Seeker for N would be the best play, I reckon. I don't know. I think I precipitated myself a bit. There's a strong energy. So now he's dealing 200 damage. Can he find... Does he play Giovanni's, or can he find a fighting stadium? Attaches a Muscle Band to the benched Gible, and he uses Bite Off for 200 damage. So 10 short at least. Now, like I said, I don't have the KO right now. I do draw a Super Scoop Up, so I'm going to play it. If I flip heads, which I do, okay, I'm gonna get back Shaman. And with my Ultra Ball, I'm going to get rid of the Golbat and the Sycamore. Find nothing. And just check how many Spirit Links are there. All 4 are in the deck. So I'm gonna draw 4 cards with Shaman, and then I can potentially use either N or Sycamore. But even Skyla would be great. Oh, no. It's just not gonna happen today. It's just not gonna happen. So now... I guess I'll attach to this Alakazam, and... What do? I have to end. I cannot... Well... I mean, I can AC Shaman and then play the Ultra Ball. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go for the AC. I'm going to play the Ultra Ball, get rid of Xerosic, get rid of Zubat, and now I really please need the Spirit Link. I really need the Spirit Link. Please. Please, beautiful deck. I just want one Spirit Link. I don't want both. I just want a single Spirit Link. That will put me in such a great position. In such a great position. And there it is. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I get to evolve. Now, I could get a KO on Gible or target this other Gible. And seeing my current hand, I think I need to score back-to-back KOs on the Garchomps, so that's why I'm spreading out the damage. I will try to heal off the active. Nope, I flipped tails. Okay, but that's fine. That's fair. I did get heads earlier on. So now I get to KO Garchomp. My Mega Alakazam is safe on the bench. He shouldn't have any way to KO Pokemon on the bench. My price is a Super Scoop Up. Pretty decent price. Now the issue here is, yeah, Hawlucha can be a problem because since it doesn't have any damage counters on it, I'm only dealing 10 damage. Okay, I top deck a Spirit Link. So I could Ultra Ball away the energy and the Shaman, or the Super Scoop Up. And then I can get double KO or place the damage onto a Lucha to prevent the situation from happening again. So I'm gonna play the Ultra Ball. I mean, best case scenario would be to flip it heads on the Super Scoop Up. I get rid of the energy, that's for sure, but what else? The Shaman or the Super Scoop Up? Gonna get rid of the Super Scoop Up. I feel like I've gotten lucky enough already. So there's a Mega Alakazam. I feel like going after the Kibble. No, because Gibbles are not a threat. Hawlucha is a threat. So I'm gonna go after Hawlucha. I know it seems weird, but it makes sense to me in my head, like in the long term game. Because it seems like he's not drawing too much. And my price is a Versiker. Okay, so back to back really useful prices, although I didn't end up using the super Scoop Up. It was an extra card to discard. And I have 2 Mega Alakazam available to me. Everything has damage on it, so I should be able to 1-hit KO anything that comes up at the moment. We do have the non-EX versus EX disadvantage, but we are in a pretty dominant position at the moment. And even if my opponent tries to Lysander something up in order to stall potentially the Hoopa or the Alakazam EX, we do have the Versiker to use AC in order to get out of that situation. So my opponent simply attaches an energy to a Lucha. Will attack. How many energy are there in my discard pile? 2. Okay, that's not bad. Does find a Versus Seeker, so he will find a Garchomp right now and the rare candy. So he has a, oh wow, he actually goes for an Ultra Ball. Okay, he has an okay follow-up at the moment. My opponent does. And yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit of a long-term issue here. I mean, my best play is definitely to retreat the Mega Alakazam. Well, he's using a lot, he's gotten rid of a ton of energy as well. 4 and a strong. Okay, he does play Shaman, which makes sense. I don't have any more abilities to my name. I can't KO anything but the Shaman. I would only deal 10 damage to a Shaman. And I don't have any bench space. And he gets rid of my stadium. Okay, so the retreating plan, unless I find another stadium, seems to have gone down the drain. So I guard EX. Okay. We are not out of the woods just yet. I top deck a Versus Seeker. I mean an Ultra Ball. My only play here is to Lysander, or rather to Sycamore. I'm getting so confused. I'm thinking of what my opponent can do. Lysander. I hope to find another stadium, which I do. I'm gonna play the Trainer's Mail. I'm gonna keep the Versus Seeker. And I will play the Dimensional Valley so that I can attack, otherwise I cannot attack at all. I will play the Spirit Link over here, and I'm actually going to retreat and promote this brand new Mega Alakazam EX. I have the Versiker in order to reuse AC and place some more damage counters somewhere. I'd be fine with taking a free KO on the Gibble and placing 2 damage counters on Sigard so that I can 2-hit KO. I'd be perfectly fine with that. And I would actually not bench the Alakazam once more. I would actually bench the Zubat. And yeah, looks like he promotes Garchomp in order to 2-hit KO my potential Mega Alakazam. As long as he doesn't evolve the Kibble, I think we should have this one in the long-term game. Well, that might be an issue because we don't have energy actually. Wow. That's a big issue because we don't have another energy just yet. There's a potential 4 more energy in my deck. Wow. Okay, I get really lucky with that top deck, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to go with what I said I would do. I'm going to AC. Well, actually, I could also Xerosic, but no. I could Xerosic away the strong energy on the bench and then KO the active Garchomp. But I feel like he might not even be able to KO my Mega Alakazam. Well, no, never mind. He's dealing 80 damage. With a single extra energy, he would be able to. So I'm going to bench the Zubat. I'm going to evolve Mega Alakazam, grab myself a prize, which is very nice. If it's a stadium, then that would be incredible. But I don't think it will be. And yeah, I mean, we do have issues for energy next turn. I actually get a trainer's mail, so this could be my stadium, and it is. Wow, very nice. Definitely very nice. Because that kind of reduces the odds of him getting the KO. He needs... yeah. Well... okay. Touch an energy to the brand new Alakazam, and I get another KO. So we are down to 1 prize. Doesn't really matter because all my opponent has left is our Pokemon EX. I get a Crobat, so I do get a very nice series of damage counters. I can also stall for a turn, potentially with Crobat, potentially with Shaman. My opponent is still down to 5 prizes, and yeah, with the Corina, he might not be able to KO my Mega Alakazam because right now there is a stadium card in play, so he deals 60 damage. If he managed to find another energy and uses Cell Storm, then he deals 80 damage, but then I'll be left with 10 damage. So that's pretty great. Definitely pretty great. He Ultra Balls for presumably a Shaman. He Ultra Balls for what I imagine. No, he actually goes for Lucario. Okay. I don't know if I agree with that play or not. He simply goes for a Land Pulse. Okay, that's best case scenario. Definitely best case scenario. I top deck an energy. I get to evolve Golbat here. There's no way I can one-hit KO right now. And there's the victory. Yeah, at this point I was going to deal too much damage, where if I spread out my energy and with the Skyla I could guarantee my stadium. I had a Sycamore, I still had energy left, so at that point my opponent was pretty much out of luck. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. 4 games, 2 really quick losses, 1 really quick win, and a really drawn out game where you can really see the potential and probably the importance of spreading out your damage counters. Because if I had not had placed the damage counters onto the Holuchas, because I didn't have access to Golbat early on, I would have only been able to 3-hit KO a Holucha, which obviously was terrible for this deck. And yeah, I mean, I was gonna say maybe Golbat line or Crobat line wasn't too important, but in that last game it was definitely, I felt how much I needed like a single Zubat or 2 Zubats early on. So that's it from me, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I hope you did. And tomorrow we have more TCG action in Spanish once again, and then on Wednesday back in English. So I hope to see you tomorrow or on Wednesday, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.